I was diagnosed with breast cancer some 6 years ago. You can imagine that it came as a pretty significant shock to my wife and to my family, to myself. I think particularly from my perspective, in the sense that I'd always thought that I was invincible. I didn't smoke. I ate fairly sensibly, I always thought. I exercised. I was into sport as a young person. So for that reason again, I thought, well, I'd looked after myself, so I must be okay. And the third reason that gave me a surprise was that I'd been doing medical tests every year for the past 20 years. Since I turned 50 odd, I would take myself off every year to the doctor and do the usual ECGs, stress ECGs, blood test, physical examination. And every time I got a clean bill of health. About 2 years before I was diagnosed, I felt a small lump in my upper breast above my heart. I didn't think much of it. It felt a little like a frozen pea under the surface of the skin. Every time I went for my medical during that time, it wasn't raised again. Eventually, 5 years ago, as I was getting up from my annual medical, putting my shirt on, I said to the doctor, "What do you think about this?" Unusually, it's been there for 2 or 3 years. And her comment to me, and I'll never forget this, it's the best medical advice I've ever got. She said to me, "Lumps belong in bottles." Meaning, of course, they don't belong on your body. They belong in a bottle in a laboratory. So I took myself off for an ultrasound. The ultrasound showed nothing. The operator said, "I don't think there's a problem." I took myself to a surgeon for a needle aspiration. That was the next step. They take a little sample of the lump and they send it away to the laboratory. While I was waiting for the aspiration results, I took my wife in for a mammogram, her regular mammogram tests. As we were waiting in the waiting rooms for the results came through that she was positive for breast cancer. As we were leaving, that was bad news, obviously. We were both distraught about that. As we were leaving the offices of the doctor, of her doctor, surgeon, my phone rang. And it was my surgeon, doctor, to say I had breast cancer. So my wife and I were analyzed together within an hour of each other on the same day. In many ways, we were then on a journey together. It became that much easier, if I could put it this way. We were admitted to the same hospital at the same time. We filled in the admission forms early in the morning, as one does. We shared a ward together, 2-bed ward. My wife was operated on at 8 in the morning. I was operated at 9. We both recovered in that ward together, sharing experiences of anesthetics and so on. We spent a day or two in hospital. We went home together and we recovered at home together. It was a situation where we shared the experience and it made it so much easier for both of us. The message that I wanted to deliver to the male population particularly is that breast cancer is a very real possibility for a male. It's a very small probability. I understand that the numbers are 1 in 200. For every 200 females that are diagnosed with breast cancer, 1 male is diagnosed. Both of our cancers have become in remission. Again, the best advice I ever had, lumps belong in bottles. It's important that you self-check. It's important that you do not rely on your annual medical tests because they don't show the true state of your body. Self-test is easy. It can be done in the shower every morning. It's not a difficult issue to find a lump in either breast. And I would strongly recommend that you follow that practice on a routine basis.